Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
We have a shitty Chinese game to review. How's it going? Welcome back to another great video on the Savior Show, my beautiful sinners. Now, if you're new to the channel, go down below and subscribe to join this amazing community, become a wise man today, become a disciple of the Savior community today, and join the channel. And if you would, check out my music on Spotify. I make electronic synth music. I'm sure you will like it. It's far better quality than this piece of garbage that we're going to take a look at today. So today, my boys, I'm going to give you my quick review of Loopmancer. What's it called? I'm going to give you my quick review of Loopmancer. Loopmancer. Wow, that's a cool name. So this is my early access review of Loopmancer, okay? I'm going to be giving you my review of Loopmancer, and I'm going to be giving you my brutally honest review of Loopmancer, not just any review. Now, Loopmancer is being made by a Chinese developer, and we know that the Chinese produce some great quality games, okay? Of course they do. Just like any country, they produce high quality products, and Loopmancer is one of those amazing products. Now, this game does slightly remind me of a recent game that came out by another smaller developer, Trek to Yomi, okay? And Trek to Yomi, although I wasn't a fan of Trek to Yomi and I thought the gameplay was a bit bland, a bit boring, the combat was pretty stale and it just wasn't that interesting, it did have something going for it because it was a beautiful journey. It was very artistic in its design. Now, the same can't be said with Loopmancer. Now, Loopmancer is a cyberpunk roguelike, okay? And basically, you're reliving the same loop over and over again. If you've ever seen, sci-fi movies, Looper or Blade Runner, it's trying to capture that aesthetic of a dystopian future, which is quite funny since that's what I talk about a lot on this channel, on how our actual reality is heading towards a future dystopia and how these corporations and the establishment and big tech and how we use technology is going to lead us to that kind of future. That's what this game is trying to capture, a dystopian cyberpunky future, but with no originality whatsoever. That's the problem here. This game feels like a generic copy and pasted asset flip of all cyberpunk / sci-fi dystopian games, and it doesn't seem to have much of an identity. Now, I have only played like the preview build and the early access of the game, but I don't think it's worth your time, and it's certainly not worth your money. So many games come out of that beautiful country where they lock up Winnie the Pooh and they don't give him any honey whatsoever. He's starving there, and it's pretty sick, to be honest. This is another generic roguelike game, and everything about this is pretty terrible, I have to be honest. If you're a die-hard fan of roguelike games and you like fast action kind of 3D, 2D type games, then you might like this, because when the action does get going, it can be rather entertaining and the combat can be fun. It does have a nice combination of melee and shooting with its combat, and like I said, it is pretty fast paced and there are some interesting moves that you can pull off, but everything else about this game is just terrible, I have to say. The animation here is just pretty laughable, to be honest. The story is beyond a joke. It feels like a parody of cyberpunk and a parody of this kind of sci-fi genre, and the FPS, for some reason, this isn't a demanding game, but it's janky. It's so janky, and it often dips frames all the time, no matter how much of a good system you have. If you're playing on console or if you're playing on PC, it's just not well optimized. And the voice acting, okay, is golden. Okay, you might want to buy this game just for the voice acting, because it's so bad, it's actually quite funny. And yeah, that's all I can really say about this game. Loopmancer, it's very generic. Loopmancer is trying to copy the formula of other cyberpunk games, and because cyberpunk and the trend of cyberpunk games is kind of popular now, it's basically just using that as its theme. It doesn't have anything interesting to say within its gameplay or within its story, so I just feel like what's the point? I mean, there are so many other better games that you can play if you just want to turn off your brain and you just want to focus on the gameplay, fast-paced gameplay. this isn't it in my opinion. The audio mixture as well is not good, like I said. The voice acting is terrible, but not only the voice acting, the sound effects here are just pretty bad, and just something has gone wrong, I guess, with its audio mixing, and the gunfire noises just sound pretty off. And the level design is just the most generic, like I said, copy and pasted stuff that we have seen in all of these other roguelike 2D action games. And yeah, it's just not good. We need innovation in the gaming industry, and this certainly is not it. It's not surprising. I'm not saying all games that come from China are bad. Of course, there are great game developers in China, but a lot of them are just looking for a quick buck. Because funny enough, if you're living within that society, you can't have that much creativity, and I think that says quite a lot. And it's quite terrifying because now big studios over here are using the same strategy of limiting creativity because they have to appeal to this new marketplace as well. So it's never a good thing. It's never going to give us innovation with the gaming industry, and I would say boycott this type of trash because it's just going to hurt the industry. The only thing good I can say about this is sometimes the background locations are pretty cool, but when you see a cinematic, it's just so hilarious. I mean, it's like the most cringeworthy anime you've ever seen done in a video game format. It's just beautiful stuff, but it's quite scary because, like I said, now game developers and Western media as a whole is now catering to a new demographic. I think we all know who I'm talking about, and of course that's why ideas now are so generic and so bland, and we just have to copy and reuse the same things that we've done in the past. Everything has to be safe and it can't be whatsoever controversial. That's the kind of gaming entertainment that I want, and that's exactly what Loopmancer is. It's a completely stale and bland, just generic, feels like a Unity asset flip, and yeah, it's just complete trash in my opinion. That's my review of Loopmancer, and that's why I think Loopmancer is bad, and you should not buy Loopmancer, okay? So don't buy Loopmancer, that's my opinion, but if you like it, if you love 2D action games, then you might get something out of this. That's up to you, but that's my quick review of Loopmancer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash like and subscribe. Smash it, okay? Because I'm a generic YouTuber and I beg for likes. And I'll see you in the next video. Kill me. Kill me now. Hello, my beautiful sinners. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'm now just gonna ramble on for a couple of seconds because I haven't reached the 8-minute mark, and I'm very sorry, but I do need for extra ad revenue as a humble, smaller creator. Gomenasai. Okay, so I'll show you a good book recommendation, I guess. I recommend that you read this one. It's called Spring Snow by Mishima. It's very good, and yeah, okay, bye.